Hello. Recently, I went through a horrible ordeal that I would like to relate to all of you. So basically, I recently got a whole bunch of vinyl at a sidewalk sale and at a Comic Con, and I wanted to go through it all here. The problem was, for some reason, when I recorded this video, it would like speed up at random times. uh, which was, it would be like I would just be talking normally, and then it would be like I would be talking like this, for some reason, and it would like come and go, and I don't know why that happened. I don't know if I can share audio with this. Can I share audio with this? Recently, there was a Comic Con in town and a sidewalk sale, and there was an unreasonable amount of vinyl. Okay, so did you hear that? I don't even know if that worked, but if you heard that, you can see the problem I was dealing with, and that kept recurring repeatedly. I don't know what happened there, but I'm trying it again. But the positive of this, what I learned from this, is that I have free editing software on this computer. It's like a Microsoft Word Office subscriber or something. I'm free, so I can do things. I can do things like I can put like a circle next to my head. Like when I edit this, I'm gonna put a circle next to my head, and if I figured out how to do it, a circle will appear next to my head now. So if I didn't figure out how to do it, it means I can't edit, and the circle is not there. But if it is there, that means I can edit. So we can take a quick look at this thing. I mean, I muted it, but we can have a little look here. Oh, look at that! I got "Trouble Will Find Me" by The National. Look at that artwork. That's so nice. I would put that on my wall. And the individual discs, they have artwork too. That's lovely. There I am itching my nose in my ear, and I look very sad. Am I think I might be sad. I'm less sad than I used. Oh, actually, I think I forgot to take my antidepressant. I'm going to do that now. Icky Thump by the White Stripes. Yeah, I'm trying to get more into the White Stripes. Jack White, his whole thing. I heard his last album. It's fantastic. But what's funny about this is Icky Thump is the only White Stripes album I've already heard from beginning to end, and it was the only one they had at the sidewalk sale. So it's like, okay, I'll get Icky Thump. I already know I like it, but it's not good for me. In that I'm already familiar with it and I know it's good. Oh, this is really weird Jack White statement that he wrote. I'm a big fan of that. But yeah, I mean, good for me because I know I like it, but bad for me for exploratory reasons. This is Television, an alternative version of their, classic, not at all overrated album, Marquee Moon. And what's cool about this looks like earlier sessions that were produced by Brian Eno. So I'm very curious to hear what a Brian Eno produced version of Marquee Moon sounds like. That sounds fun, potentially. I mean, not a lot of stuff that involves Eno is fun, but some of it's fun. So we'll see. Alligator by The National. Yeah, that's my favorite National record. That's one of my favorite records of all time. I mean, what has it got? Abel, Geese of Beverly Road, Mr. November, right? It's got all kinds of just bangers on there. Did I say all the wine? All the wine is great. This is another thing I figured out how to do with the editing software. That I can be here and my screen can be there. So just imagine my ugly fucking face is in here, and instead of that horrible thing, you have to see two of me. This is probably like seeing fucking Cthulhu, and you're all gonna go mad and never recover emotionally and or mentally. And I'm sorry about that. But yeah, I mean, I can do this. I could do all kinds of stuff. I could go through lists on here. I could go through tier lists. Like I actually have a YouTube channel now, so that's what I'm learning. So that's exciting. I don't know what the hell I'm going on and on about here. I wish I could remember. I was probably making some salient points. Oh, I think I was talking about how the National, how they're obsessed with these days making everything like really kind of in the studio like hermetically sealed and really pretty. But in their old records, like on Alligator and on the previous ones like Sad Songs for Dirty Lovers and the self-titled and all of that, that they used to have a lot more emotion and a lot more kind of rawness in their sound. And this is like, why don't they do that anymore? That would be nice. It's just like on their last record, which was super boring, the final track was called Smoke Detector, and it was like it wasn't even that good. And here's me trying to make this point and trying to remember the name of the song. I'm so fucking fat. And like I can't remember the name of this song. It's driving me crazy. It's The Pull of You. And the point I was trying to make is that The Pull of You was really boring and awkward on the album, but when I saw it live, it was like incredible. And that was like the thing with Smoke Detector too, is when they're live, they have so much more energy, and it's so much more compelling, so it's just like, yeah, just make a whole album like Smoke Detector. Smoke Detector is not even a great song, but it's just like it's the right direction for the band. Just keep going that way, and and don't be so worried about making everything so pretty all the time. That's I know that's why some people might consume it. That's not why I consume it. I want something human and direct in my art, at least most of the time. Oh, and what I'm talking about here is I found this alternative version of the first Velvet Underground record, which I don't know anything about this, but yeah, apparently it's, I don't even know if Nico's on it, but it's like alternate versions of pretty much everything from Velvet Underground to Nico. It might be missing a track or two, but I love that record, so I'm curious to check that out. It's not my favorite Velvet Underground record. I think I prefer Loaded and the self-titled, but it's really good. Oh, kind of Kinks. Yeah, this is I believe the second Kinks record. I said that in the video that I thought it was, but I wasn't sure. And in between that video and this moment, I haven't looked it up, but I think it is. And it's like a massive improvement on the first record. It's got what's it got on there? Waiting for You, Nothing in the World Can Stop Me, Worrying About That Girl, uh, Something Better Beginning. It's got a lot of great ballads on it. It also has Dancing in the Street, because apparently every band has to do Dancing in the Street for some reason. I don't know why. I also picked up this live Kinks album, which I know nothing about. It's from the 80s, which is the only thing that gives me pause, because 80s Kinks isn't my favorite Kinks. But like, how bad can it be? It's the Kinks live album. It was $3. Like, I'm not gonna buy that, of course. I'm gonna buy that. It has a gatefold. Pretty much everything I bought has a gatefold. I keep talking about gatefolds like I want to fucking marry gatefolds. And here I'm making the point that they don't list the tracks anywhere on the album. You gotta look at the actual final disc to know what tracks are on it. And it's a lot of 80s stuff, which is but it has some classic stuff like Lola and Stop Your Sobbing. Like, there's some good stuff on there. Oh, and this is 2001, the music from 2001. Not a lot of original music in that film, if any, but he used classical pieces in a really cool way, and edited them in such a way to be really harmonious with the visuals and enhance them so tremendously. And this is a cool package because it talks about Kubrick. It talks about the making of the film. It talks about how he used each of the songs for maximum impact, and it goes through each of the songs individually. So it's just a really nice set to have. I mean, it's beat to shit, but who cares? It's just it's a nice piece of pop culture ephemera, and it's obviously a beautiful soundtrack. Whether it's all original pre-existing pieces or not. I could have done this video so much faster. Like, I'm trying to talk for as long as I'm talking in this video, and it's hard. Like, I don't know what I was going on about. What's the next record? Get to the next record. Come on. What is it? Oh, it's Madman Across the Water. Yes. Yes, I recently went through all the Elton John records. I think this was like my number 2 Elton John album behind Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. Um, yeah, it's fantastic, except for Razorface. Pretty much every other song on it is great. And I mean, Razorface isn't the worst song in the world, just in comparison. But yeah, 70s Elton. 70s Elton is awesome. My throat is really dry. I wish I had a drink. I got one out of the fridge, but then I forgot it, and then I left it in the kitchen. But yeah, 70s Elton, fantastic. 80s Elton, kind of a mixed bag. 90s Elton is the worst Elton. But 70s Elton, fantastic. Oh, this is Prince. This is an album called The Truth. It's like something very different from him. It's like a solo acoustic kind of guitar record. And as you can see on the back, when I held up the back for a second, I'm sure I'll do it again at some point. Each track has its own like typography. Yeah, I think I'm talking about that here. Each track, and it's raised. It has some texture to it. It's a really nice package. Um, and I just love that record. I think it really stands out in his discography as something unique. I'm glad he had a record like that. It has a bit more of a blues influence, but then it also has some very strange experimental tracks. It comes with this artwork, which I love. I would buy a poster of this artwork. It's fantastic. Um, oh, and then I think I'm talking about this was really funny to me. Like I bought this on eBay, and the guy went to so much trouble to make sure it wouldn't get damaged. Like he packaged it really carefully with like some cardboard in the back so it wouldn't bend, and he put it in a nice sturdy envelope, and he put a fragile sticker on it, and even with all of that, the corner got all bent up. The postal service fucked them. And it was just funny to me because he tried so hard to get that vinyl to me in good condition. So basically, what I'm trying to say is I will be suing him and I will be suing eBay because that's unacceptable. And I'm talking about Wind and Wuthering now. Yeah, Wind and Wuthering. I recently went through all the Genesis records. This was really high ranked for me, like maybe third behind The Land Lies Down on Broadway and Selling England by the Pound. And this is a Phil Collins Genesis record, which is interesting because usually I really prefer the Peter Gabriel Genesis. Not that Phil Collins Genesis is bad, it's just a very different thing, less to my taste. But Wind and Wuthering is a very sort of different record for them. It's like a little more kind of contemplative, and like the album cover is a pretty good representation of the mood on the record. And I was just, it's like The Truth. It's like kind of an outlier in their discography, kind of them doing something different that I found really refreshing. So yeah, it's a good record. Oh yes, the score to The Spy Who Loved Me. Yeah, this is not only just like a cool piece of like a cool thing to have as a pop culture guy and as like a Bond fan. This is one of my favorite movie scores of all time. Easily my favorite Bond score. It's by this guy Marvin Hamlish, who's an EGOT winner. He's got all the EGOTs, and yeah, it's I think he should have won an Oscar for it. I think it's incredible. Oh, Apollonia 6. Yeah, this is a Prince side project. It's basically Vanity 6, but with Apollonia instead of Vanity. Other than that, Prince wrote all the songs. He plays all the instruments, or almost all the instruments. He produced it. And you really shouldn't ignore these Prince side projects if you're a fan. There's a lot of great stuff on there, particularly the first two Sheila E. records are really fantastic. And the third New Power Generation record, I think it's called New Power Soul, where the one with the microphone gun on the cover, is basically a Prince record. I mean, not only did he write and produce all the songs, he's singing lead on all the songs. And I think it's better than most of the albums that Prince actually put out in the 90s, you know? So I don't know why he made the decision to take a record that good and make it so obscure and attribute it to some side project. It doesn't make any sense to me. But what can you do? I'm just trying to fill time here. What are you talking about? Get to the next record. Come on. Come on. Come on. You can do it. Oh my God. Oh my God. I need to work on this. I need to I need to shut up. I need to shut up. I don't need to go on this long. This is absurd. All right. Oh, and then we get into the Prince singles. That's why I was going on so long, because I was explaining to this guy at the Comic Con. He had this huge stack of Prince singles, and I wanted to, buy all of them, but he was charging like $20 for each of them, which is actually fair. They're kind of hard to find from what I've seen. And so, yeah, I got my favorites. I got Mountains from Love Sexy, which is a track that's like really grown on me, since I first heard the record. I like it better with like every listen. And then that one I just showed was I Could Never Take the Place of Your Man, which is a great song from Sign of the Times. Fantastic one. And here I'm probably talking about that this song and this one here, If I Was Your Girlfriend, they're in that, they're all right next to each other with Strange Relationship. That 3-song run is probably my favorite moment in Prince's entire discography. And If I Was Your Girlfriend in particular is like maybe my second favorite Prince song after Sometimes It Snows in April. Just incredible song. The disc is backed with Shockadelica. I think I'm talking about that right there. And Shockadelica, is my favorite Prince B-side. So it's like my second or third favorite Prince song, my favorite Prince B-side. That's a good collection right there. So, yeah, I think that's about it. I was going to do one of my signature awkward endings. Yeah, and now